So this is like take 100 of this damn thing. Welcome to the Wednesday night edition of I'm Still Playing. And you're probably wondering, like, if you've seen any of my previous videos, what the actual fuck? Why are you sitting on the couch? And the reason is because I'm changing things up a bit for this video. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And you're probably then going to ask next, or at least I would, why are we changing things up? And it's because I'm playing the YouTube Metagame. Now, what is the YouTube Metagame? Well, that's actually what we're going to talk about tonight, because it's something that you kind of have to pay attention to, or at least you probably want to pay attention to, but you can also choose to completely ignore it, like all metagames. So we're going to talk about metagames, what they are, why you care, and what I'm doing in this channel to sort of pay attention to the YouTube Metagame, if you will. So I think most of you know this already, but just so that we're all on the same footing, what do we mean when we're talking about the metagame? Well, in short, the metagame is the game that you play within the game, if you will. So for instance, it's the game that you do, it's the things that you do in the game to make your mech better or your ship better or your character better for actually playing the game. So for instance, when I'm playing EVE Online, one of the parts of the metagame that I participate in that I really enjoy is, of course, outfitting your ship, or ships, as the case may be. And as you can see, there are whole sites dedicated to doing this. So you can pour over your weapon loadouts, and you can maximize energy costs versus capacity costs, and you try to figure out how in the hell you're going to get all the ISK to afford these things. Right? And that's part of the meta in EVE Online. By the same token, in BattleTech, another game that I absolutely love, by the way, the meta in BattleTech is outfitting your mechs, or your fleet of mechs, if you will, your lance. And so, you're thinking like, well, can I really put two AC-20s on a Marauder? And if I do, will I have enough armor to last for even more than 5 rounds? And those are the kinds of things that I absolutely love, and it will have me poring over Excel spreadsheets for hours trying to come up with the most optimum build. And then in World of Warcraft, there are entire industries dedicated to helping you in the meta for World of Warcraft. I mean, Wowhead and Icy Veins literally exist for the sole purpose of allowing you to maximize your rotation, to understand what your best substats are, and to get the absolute best build for every spec of every class in the game. And that's what those sites are for, is to help you participate in the meta, right? And if you chose to, you could also completely ignore the meta, right? I mean, in fact, one of the most common pieces of advice given when you're online looking for answers to the question of what class should I main for the next expansion is people telling you, play what you want, play whatever you like. And honestly, for the kind of content that a filthy casual like myself would most likely be doing, that's actually not bad advice. That's actually really good advice. All right, so what does all this have to do with YouTube content? Well, when it comes to YouTube videos, there's really only one number that matters, and that's views. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. There are actually a number of metrics that are involved in monetization, but the most important one is views. And just like any game, you can ignore the metagame and just continue to make content for your channel. But if you really want those views to go up and to get up in the high numbers and you want to chase that number, you're going to have to participate in the metagame. So what does that mean? But before I get to that, let me back up a little bit and talk about this channel in particular. When I created this channel, I really didn't have any grand designs of monetizing it, honestly. This channel mostly exists as an avenue for me to express creativity that's not game development and not writing. And it also serves as a way for me to sharpen my video production skills, which is a skill I still find to be harder than I feel like it should be. But there it is. So I'm not here to really heavily monetize, or at least I didn't start off, creating the channel with that in mind. But I'm a gamer, and if you put a number in front of me, I'm going to want that number to go up. Just by the same token, like when I'm in WoW and I'm running around in heroic dungeons, I may not ever be doing really highly competitive content, but I still have details installed, and I still am watching my DPS, and I still want it to be better. And then I go back to Icy Veins and I try to improve my rotation or swap out things in my build to make it better. So by the same token, to sit here and say, I don't care about views for this channel, that's just not true. I want this channel to grow, and I want it to get better. So what does that mean in terms of the metagame for YouTube? Well, like any good industry, there are a cajillion guides and videos and aids out there to help you increase views for your YouTube channel. And I spent quite a bit of time, rummaging through them and looking and seeing what there was. And one of the earliest and probably one of the best guides I came across basically had this message, and that is, stop making the content that you want to make. Instead, make the content that people want to see. And in fact, he went on to show that he had a proprietary database set up that would allow you to search for videos that had a high level of virality, if you would. And then his advice was literally just to copy those videos, put them in the parlance of your channel, if you would, but right down to the thumbnail, do exactly what those videos did. And I was like, wow. I actually stopped watching at that point. Not because I didn't believe the guy had good advice. In fact, I'm 100% certain that that's actually really good advice. If you want to make videos that will go viral, you should employ characteristics of other viral videos. It completely makes sense. But it was sort of a realization for me that maybe I do kind of have a line. Because that's not the kind of channel that I really want to make. Just like when I'm building a game or I'm writing a book, the kind of content that I want to make is the kind of content that I would like to consume, that I would enjoy. And that's what I want this channel to be as well. So even though the methods that guy suggested and that many other videos suggest are probably the fastest way to get really big, solid channel growth, in just the same way that running dungeons nonstop is probably the fastest and most efficient way to get a character from 1 to 70, that's not how I want to do it. I'm still okay with going out there and running quests and participating in the campaign for the 1000th time. And by the same token, I'm still okay with creating the kind of videos and content that I want to make. And if it means that no single video ever gets more than 1,000 views, I'm going to have to be okay with that. All right, so to wrap this thing up, make no mistake, I am going to play the YouTube metagame, at least a little bit. I'm going to try to do things that increase views for the channel. Things like changing the camera angle or zooming in or maybe using a filter for emphasis. I don't know. Put a little variety in the videos, if you will. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to create videos solely for the purpose of trying to have them go viral. I'm going to create the content that I would like to do for this channel, that I would like to see and like to consume, and hopefully the kind of content that you as well are enjoying and would like to see. So I would invite you to let me know down in the comments below what it is you like to see, if you're enjoying the content that's come out so far, or if there's other types of videos that you think might be fun. Something more game developer oriented, or just other games that you think would be interesting to cover, as long as they're RPGs, or MMOs, or Battletech. And that's going to do it for this evening. What do you think about metagame? Are you the kind of person that likes to participate in the metagame? Do you pull out spreadsheets for your EVE Online characters or ships like I do? Or are you more of the, fuck the metagame, I'm going to do the kind of game that I want type person? And that is absolutely 100% legit. In fact, some games I'm 100% that way myself. Whatever it is, you guys, please let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe if you are enjoying the content. And until next time, you guys have a great evening. I'll see you soon.